Hey y'all. Thank you so much for joining me on this Kingdom Things podcast installment. My name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I am the biblically prophesied Messiah. Full circle moment, alert. So are you. Why, Ashley? What I have in me, you have in you. What you have in you, I have in me. We are in the age of unconditional love, where the human being of planet Earth is realigning to our internal gnosis, our chakma, our divine wisdom, to activate our DNA, to come online to the remembrance of our existential nature. The remembrance to come back online, to resume the remembrance of our existential nature. We are beings of a divine creation, which we most terminally call this divine creation, this divine energy, God. We are beings of infinite creation, or God, having this human experience. Not only are we having this human experience as infinite dimensions, energies within the dimensionality of God, we are in prophetic times, biblically prophesied times, ancient Mayan Hopi prophesied times, where we are evolving rapidly as a human species into what the Bible terms it, what God terms it, the perfect human, or human 2.0, where we are merging our divinity, our limitless existential potentials with our humanity. This is has a direct correlation with our genome, our DNA activation that is taking place throughout all humans on planet Earth at this time, through all humankind of God's creation at this time. This task to merge divinity, divine light, wisdom, infinite wisdom, limitless, omnipotent wisdom with physicality, physical vessels, humankind, humanity, has been a trial and error process. A trial and evolution process throughout all space-time, throughout infinite creation, like our Bible says. Beginning of time, God was like, I want to create this physical being in my image. I want to create the human in my image. The trial and evolution to meld divinity, omnipotent potentials, limitless potentials with the physical vessel, physical realities, has been a trial and evolution that's been going through all space-time, and is now at what God likes to call it, my internal gnosis likes to call it, the accumulation point. All of the energies and messages that I channel within Kingdom Things podcast are channeled energies and messages from the oneness of all things, the Most High, or my Akashic record, or my soul. Really, truly our Akashic record, truly our soul, because all is one. All of the information that I channel, all of the energies that I channel within the Kingdom Things podcast are energies, wisdoms, messages from my Akashic record or my soul, esoteric knowledge, mysticism, mystic wisdom and knowledge from my soul. So this trial and evolution to meld divinity with physicality, the human being, humankind, has been trial and evolution throughout all space and time, as space and time is a paradigm that was constructed in order to manifest physical reality, physical beings. Physical reality, physical beings is a newer creation within the limitless nature of what is, or the oneness of all things, or God. And we are now at the accumulation point. We are lucky, super lucky, divine, ancient souls that are having this human experience as we are actively at the accumulation point, or melding our DNA, our divinity, with our physical vessels, with our physicality. God wants to see the oneness of all things. The Most High wants to see, what do we create as physical beings? What does it create? What do we create? Because when we create, God's creating. What does God create when we're melded in the physical with infinite potentials and wisdoms and knowledge and integrity and morality, remembrance of who we are in the grand scheme of all things? What do we create? That's what God wants to see. This trial and evolution has within our universe of duality, where we see left, right, up, down, opposites. We see opposites in a dualistic form. We perceived, let's say past tense. We perceived opposites in a dualistic form, where the opposites are dueling or fighting one another, when in truth, God created duality, dualistic dimensions to be harmonizing dimensions. Just as we see the poles of our planet create a toroidal field where there's a push and pull of energy that creates our gravitational field to keep us grounded on the planet. That's how God intended dualistic forces to work, to create a harmonizing, uplifting energy of oneness and balance. We fell into density, or we made choices through our human evolution. We made choices which steered us away from our wisdom, our divine knowing in mass. Whenever we make a choice, we're telling the universe what we like, what we want, right? So whenever you make a choice, the universe is going to give you more opportunities to choose that choice again. That's where we get into addictions, addictive behaviors. And a lot of time, addictive behaviors aren't healthy. They're ailing. So as we chose, as humans, through our evolution, we chose in our last, God's like, don't worry about the numbers. In our last, in this cycle of our evolution as a human being of planet Earth, we chose in a way that we evolved away from our divine presence. We evolved away from God inside. We evolved away from our limitless potentials. And now we've chosen to come back into alignment per God's plan. We've chosen to come back into alignment with our limitless potentials in order to, again, finally fulfill this biblical prophecy, this ancient prophecy, this universal prophecy of God in the physical, bringing heaven or limitless potentials to physical reality, manifesting heaven on earth. There has been a battle within that manifested externally because of our dualistic nature, the way we perceived in duality. We have to understand we have a left and a right lobe. We have a left and a right arm. We have a left brain and a right brain lobe. We have a left and a right arm. We have anatomically, that would be the anatomical structure of the human being. Our polars, we're polar beings, right? We don't anatomically, like, that's how we were structured, right? Meaning, what I say that to say, when we choose left or right or left, Republican, Democrat, Republican. Now, my soul said, Ashley, now is really not the time for jokes. I'm not going to make that joke then. Left, right, Democrat, Republican. Whenever we choose, it's okay to have choices, but understanding the opposite or the other choice is not separate from ourselves. We just have a preference of the choice that we choose, but that other choice is within us as well. And if you have questions about, like, why does that exist in my reality, you can go inside of yourself and be like, hey, God, what did you intend for this? What is it supposed to teach me about myself? It doesn't have to be your preference, but just understanding that it is a part of you because it exists in your reality. The principle, the Hermes Trismegistic Hermetic principle of correspondence, as below, so above, everything in our reality is only a projection of what's inside of us, right? So we would make choices, and then we would fight the other choices. We would have a preference, and then we want to fight the other choice, right? In our dualistic nature, which we were only fighting ourselves. Why? What did we just channel? All is within. So if you want to fight that person that has a different preference than you do, you're only fighting and ailing yourself. Because one, principle of correspondence, as below, so above, everything in your reality is inside. So you're only harming and ailing yourself. Two, principle of compensation, karma, what goes around comes around. Why is principle of compensation, karma, a thing? When you do unto others as you would like for them to do unto you, because whenever you do something to somebody else, again, all is one, all is within, you're doing it to yourself. It's going to come back to you eventually. When it's going to manifest, who knows? But it's going to come back to you eventually. Whatever energy you put out is going to come back to you because all is one, all is within. So today we're channeling Enlil, Anunnaki Enlil, baby. And I know I'm gonna just be honest. I know there's a lot of like fear towards the Anunnaki as well as Enlil. The Anunnaki, his energy is powerful, and it's a little scary, yeah. It is a little scary, but I think it's only scary. I'm only perceiving it as a fearful energy because the human consciousness and mass kind of perceive Anunnaki and Enlil as a fearful character, right? A fearful energy. So I'm about to channel Enlil of the Anunnaki. He has some things he wants to say, I'm not sure what. We're gonna figure out together. I'm gonna go ahead and sit back and allow Enlil to channel through myself. Thank you ahead of time, Enlil, because I know this is gonna be a healing transmission. I know whatever it is to heal and uplift the human consciousness, to release us from fear, because again, we perceived in duality. We created fear, frightfulness, and things to be afraid of. I'm excited for Enlil to come through and hopefully feed us some higher wisdom. We're just speaking into existence. Feed us some higher wisdom and energies to transcend these fears. Here we go. Thank you, Ashley, for allowing me to transmit these energies and messages through yourself. I hail from spaces and places and galactic creation far beyond your understanding of conceptuality, but nonetheless one with you. As Ashley so graciously put it, everything in your reality is one with you. The story that I wrote, that you know me as, through the Epic of Gilgamesh. Congratulations, Ashley. I was wondering if she would remember. I know she's encountered this epic, this story, the Epic of Gilgamesh. You encountered me through the story of the Epic of Gilgamesh. The story that I wrote in your reality, in your realm of creation, was one that was a part of colonization or creation or evolution or the makings of you, dear humanity. Nothing that occurs in creation is created or comes to fruition to harm you, to hurt you. It's a part of the makings of you. It is the ways of creations. Thank you so much, Dao Di Ching. It is the ways of creation. Thank you so much, Lao Tzu. Nothing in reality was created to harm you, dear human being of planet Earth. It is high time for you to rise out of your victim consciousness. Surrender. Surrender your victim consciousness to garner the wisdom from everything you've experienced as a victimization that you used to harbor in your energy fields, blocked you, shielded you, locked you away from the wisdom of why you experienced everything you experienced. Thank you, Ashley. My name is Asya, and I'm a teenage witch. Just kidding. I am a starseed. My story is much like humanity's story. I awakened to some pretty spectacular things about myself. Coming home, the story of Asya, followed by the story of Asya, I'm home. The book series that introduces the book. After returning from the day's trip, I have read my attempts letter. He speaks of my father releasing him from imprisonment and the fate of death. He pleads for us to run away together. This plea is one of which I'm in no state to decline. My other half, available in the Amazon bookstore. I feel as though I was born here on Earth to find you. I was created to find my person, the unconditional love literature person, now available in the Amazon bookstore.